Welcome back to One Comic Book a Day, where we're covering Superman 72 and the final story, The Flight of Failures. A story that, once again, doesn't feel like it's dealing with the major conflict of the comic until the very end. Here, narratively, it makes sense because it's sort of about teaching Clark a lesson, but it's not exactly about teaching Clark a lesson, as he never really learns that lesson. Honestly, he teaches this lesson to like 3 other people. Maybe 4, depending on how you think of this, and Lois. He's always trying to teach Lois a lesson in the 1950s, and he always makes it sound like that it's the first time he's ever taught her a lesson, or it's about time to teach her a lesson, even though he's done it so many damn times now. Some guy has built what he claims to be a working spaceship, but while Clark is writing a story about it, it doesn't seem to actually work all that well, though it does remove gravity in the room with magnets, because how do they work? They can do anything, they're magical if you don't understand science at all. Or you're Magneto. Clark has to rush back because he's in massive trouble. He screwed up a story and misquoted a very rich and powerful man. So what, he's Superman, he can put a stop to rich and powerful men. Oh wait, we're not doing that anymore. I miss that. Anyway, he did in fact misquote the man. You think this is maybe a story where someone's trying to, get Clark fired. It's some sort of trick or mystery, but that's not what this story is. He did in fact misquote this. So you think this is going to be, I don't know, Clark having to prove himself some way about the newspaper? That's not where we're going. Remember the spaceship? Well, Clark, who cannot get a job now because no one wants to hire the guy who might bring on a $1 million suit against them, is called upon to be on the spaceship with about 3 other people. They're all failures. And for some reason, the guy wants to take these failures into space with him as he's going to make the first journey to Mars. Wait, hasn't Superman been on Mars? We're going to ignore that. And weren't there Martians that liked Hitler? Wait, nope. Ignore all that. Probably doesn't exist in continuity anymore. It should. The spaceship now works and they're heading to Mars, and each one of these people have failed in some way. Like, one is a failure of a lawyer, one's a failure of a actor. Lois has snuck on board because that's what Lois does. And a lot of the story is Superman having to find ways to get out of the ship, well, disappear as Clark, get out of the ship and save the ship from something that's happening, including making an eclipse happen, which is very timely to right now, as the eclipse happened on Monday. And he does this by convincing these failures who don't think much of themselves to accomplish what they are originally good at. Like, the actor pretends to be Clark so Clark can disappear. And the lawyer has to talk the spaceship creator down from getting them all killed by going to Mars, seeing that they have no more fuel. Good thing Superman could just fly it back. No, that's not what we're going to do. We're just going to convince him to go back. So essentially, we are doing several stories about not giving up. But that's not Clark's problem. He was never going to give up. So when he comes back, he investigates. Shouldn't this been what we had done like immediately afterwards? And it had to do with his superpowers being too good. He overheard an echo when the quote was happening. So instead of hearing I am, he heard I am not. So he did in fact get the quote wrong. But then because he's Superman and can do whatever he wants, he goes about changing the land this guy owns to make the quote true. So now it's true. So it wasn't libel. Is that really a solution to Superman screwing something up? It didn't feel like it taught him a lesson. Just, now I can solve anything with my powers. But yeah, like an odd duck of a story that's not really focused on the main conflict and feels like it's trying to teach Superman a lesson that he obviously doesn't need to learn and doesn't learn. Okay, that is it from Superman 72, The Flight of Failures. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Hit the like on to get notification when a new video is up. I do this Monday through Friday, but Fridays is Bat Friday, where I cover a Batman story, either Detective Comics or Batman. And until next time, let's ponder the question, whatever did happen to the Man of Tomorrow? What happened to this guy who has this random spaceship? He didn't try again? And what happened to the Martians who worshipped Hitler? Okay, have a great day.